Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Hey folks, welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast, your one-stop shop for all your AEW, NXT, WWE recaps, reviews, pay-per-view predictions. Like always, it's Kyle here. Joining us today on Facecam, making his debut, Mr. the AJ Styles of podcasts, and Sebastian. What's going on, Seb?
Is this my debut?
I think so. I think it's your debut.
Not when I first started.
Maybe.
Nah, he had face cam before.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I do, because I remember you said like I was.
Like you were freezing a lot. Yeah, because we did it with Benji, that guy we can't remember. Of course, over one step over is Mr. Robert Roode himself. What's going on, Rob?
What is going on? We need Peyton and Billy back on my television. Looking at my shirt, we need them back.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh god. Anytime I hear Peyton, I think Manning, and I just get enraged. Happy New Year's, guys. Happy New Year's, everybody.
You start getting mad when you hear Fitzpatrick. Oh, yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, now. Listen. We had a longer rivalry with Manning, okay? Both of them.
Yeah, but
Nationwide is on your side.
Miami can't beat nobody else but you all.
Hey, who knows? Oh, man. Yo, so, hey, everybody have a happy New Year?
I did. I enjoyed it.
What about you, Sebastian?
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to hear it.
Good with the wife.
Yeah, man. We did, too. We hosted a stream here. Kevin, Jay, and Vince for a period. We hosted a 2K20 tournament on here where we kind of proxied wrestlers to various content creators and held a tournament. I think it was, who was it? Was it All Elite Podcast?
Yeah.
That won it with Edge, I want to say. I you know what? I was like, I acted surprised, and then when I went back, dude, Edge is like kind of OP in the game. Like looking back, I'm really not surprised. Like no credit to him, for lucking out, getting the draw, but I went back and yeah, Edge is like a rating of like 87 or 88, man. He's up there. But that was a lot of fun, man. Anybody that joined in, thank you for joining us, man. That was a lot of fun to shoot. It went way longer than I anticipated. We got a good chance to see some glitches. I don't suppose any of you tuned in and saw when Jeff Hardy and I think Montez Ford just locked eyes with each other for like 3 minutes straight before we had to manually intervene. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Apparently, if you set the AIs up to face each other and it spills out into the crowd, there's a chance that they'll just stare at each other, just in the crowd while everyone cheers.
I can't believe how broken that game is.
Oh.
I really can't. It's terrible.
What's bad is we got carried away talking like through the match, and it took like a couple minutes before we realized nothing was happening, and I had to like manually take control of Jeff Hardy and like corral him back into the ring,
Move him away into the ring.
Yeah,
Right.
and in which case it went back, man. But
I'm glad I didn't buy it. I would have bought it if they gave you the option of having classic controls, like to kick out, you mash the A button.
yeah,
That's how you kick out, not this joystick crap that causes you to get pinned in 3 seconds because you didn't line it up right.
yeah, a lot of people not happy with 2K. All the work that they put into it, and obviously this year is just the worst. You guys, we're a pro wrestling podcast. You can find us on Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, Google Play Music, and iTunes. Of course, we're on YouTube.
Yep.
Don't forget to like and
66
subscribe.
subscribers. 66. We need more.
Thank you. As you see here, we're trying new stuff. We're getting on camera more. That was one of the more requested things. People didn't want to look at still images. They wanted to see our ugly mugs. So, of course... Yes, I think we've had everybody now. Sebastian, I think you were the last person in the current gap since Christmas, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of ugly mug, this lighting I got here is on battery, so if it dies, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be like, you ain't
just Rob's gonna vanish.
2 words, can't see me.
Yeah, man. I got you. Yeah, speaking of which, hit us up on Twitter anytime you guys want to talk wrestling. We are at SmackDrawPod, myself at The Kai Tai Show, Sebastian at WrestlingFan_32. Hit him up, man. He's the AJ Styles of podcasting. He'll talk wrestling with you all day.
Apparently to Stephen A. Smith. I don't know.
What's that?
Apparently to Stephen A. Smith. I don't know.
The Stephen A. Smith?
That's what y'all called me yesterday.
Oh, man. I saw someone refer to you as the Ryan Satin for sticking up for the Lana Lashley stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
speaking of
AJ Styles, he's in a company that has a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a show tonight. What kicked off that show, Kyle?
Rob's ready to dive into it, man. Yeah, we got the first AEW of the year, man. This was highly anticipated, and I believe it delivered. They aired from Jacksonville, home of AEW. The overall arcing story was, is the Elite still elite? The team of Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, of course, slated in the main event to take on Lucha Bros and Pac. We had Taz on commentary. We were speaking earlier when we thought we were recording.
We weren't.
Yeah, I know, we weren't.
We're recording now. Just to make sure before we.
If y'all want to shoot, this is the second time that we've been almost 10 minutes into the stream. This time I can confirm that we are recording, though.
All right, good.
I know. It bums me out, man, because like watching you struggle with the mic with no audio was hilarious.
Talking about how we're going to pretend that we know what you're saying. Smile and nod.
Oh, man, that was funny. Oh, dang it. I'm glad. Had you not done that, maybe we would have been like 20, 30 minutes in, and then the show would have been a waste. Rob would have been asleep, But,
Sure.
yeah, so Taz, okay. We were talking, man. We'd love him to be a permanent member of the commentary table. But who would he replace? You can't replace Excalibur. So we come down to Shivani and JR. And like Rob said, you said we didn't even notice Shivani was gone. So probably Shivani.
Yeah.
Which that's a hard...
Even though the answer is probably JR with much respect. Like, you didn't know hard feelings.
Yeah.
But tonight you said that this happened during the commercial break, and it didn't happen during the commercial break. It happened before the commercial break. JR, we've seen it happen. It happened when Cody Rhodes did a flipsy-doo off the top rope. It happened, and then you went to commercial. So it wasn't.
That's going to be
during
our first
commercial.
custom shirt is flipsy-doo. I'm telling you right now, man. Once we get enough people where we might get like 2 suckers to buy our clothes, flipsy-doo is gonna be the shirt to make. Oh man, yeah. But the thing is Shivani is often there to further story. Typically with Cody, he's always he hops out in the ring, interviews Cody a lot. But I guess the trade-off could be he'd be like a special guy in Cody's corner or something. So there's a lot of ways you could work with that.
We already got Arn Anderson.
Arn Anderson, yeah, man, that's true. Speaking of which, yeah, let's go into the opening match of the evening, man, which is Cody Rhodes taking on Darby Allin. Cody had Arn Anderson in his corner, the enforcer. What they say, he's the official coach of Team Nightmare. What are they calling Cody's crew? The Nightmare Crew or something like that?
So, yeah, whatever they said. He's the coach of them. The Nightmare guys.
Yeah.
The Nightmare people.
It's not the Nightmare Collective. It's not that. That's something else, which is still, we're trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, good old Arn Anderson, man, out in the corner. Kind of like a cool way to see a face manager. Typically, managers are reserved to be a heel type character. Arn, you didn't really get that from. It really seemed he didn't really do anything heelish. Arguably to the end. Sebastian, what would you say about his involvement at the end of the match? Because we had a sick match here, but we don't need to go blow for blow. However, I will show you a still. Here, you guys, of just the most insane coffin drop to the freaking ring apron. Jesus Christ,
it was
dude.
So predictable, though. Like, I was like, no, Cody, come on. Why are you rolling to the outside of the ring? Somebody that nobody has ever done in the history of ever. Like, you just randomly, stop on the apron to a guy that coffin drops people on the apron. Come on, man.
Kayfabe, why did Cody take that move? Because it looked like he countered it.
Don't know because commentary didn't know. Taz Taz was like, I don't know. I think he didn't counter. And JR's like, no, he countered.
He got his knees
He
up.
didn't counter it. He took the blow.
Dude, he shook him off, man. Like, Darby Allin did not have his fall broken that well. Like, it's just kind of like rolled on. Like, it looked bad. It was sick, though. Come on, man. It's sick.
It was good, but I'm like, no, I know why you're rolling out there. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I know what's coming.
And he ran from so far. Like, he was on the complete opposite side.
I didn't even pick up on that. Like, I just saw
he
the
rolled
coffin
like across the whole ring, dude.
He did.
Well, now it had Darby timed it right, where Cody was trying to roll to the outside and got intercepted.
There you go. Yeah,
that would be
it's
crazy.
Like Cody
to time.
sat there for a minute.
Yeah.
You know what's coming? Get off the ring, dude.
Yeah. What'd you think of the finish? Arn Anderson got a slight ref distraction, but it was just him screaming to Cody to get his knees up, not to do anything like underhanded. He was just like, get your knees up, and then Cody got his knees up to counter the second coffin drop, and ended up winning with the roll up.
It works because they're trying to make Arn Anderson the coach, and what he did was he made a play call.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
cool. Got
cool.
a touchdown. So I mean, it works well. Storytelling.
You retain face though, right? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say he would.
Sweet, man.
They had that moment too where he held the paper over his lips. When
That's awesome.
Like
an NFL
My wife
play
watched
caller.
this match with me, and then she disappeared. But she's like, "What is this? A Super Bowl?"
I didn't even catch that, man.
Yeah.
That's
He held
awesome.
the paper over his.
So yeah, they definitely. It wasn't a heel move. It was a coach move.
It was a
That's
coach
what
move.
They pulled off.
That's
Yes.
cool, man. That's cool. They're doing new stuff, man. New stuff's awesome.
I'm okay with it.
We're cool, man. SCU delivered a promo in the back. Pretty much just your generic. We're the tag team champs. We're taking on all comers. They're calling out LAX, calling out the Lucha Bros. But they were interrupted by Sammy Guevara, who further trash talks Christopher Daniels. This whole Christopher Daniels is a has-been. He doesn't got it anymore, which sets up the match between Guevara and Christopher Daniels for next week. I love it, though, Christopher Daniels, because Guevara's always vlogging with his phone. So Christopher Daniels
licked his finger
licks
and
his
put it over
finger
the
and
camera?
smudges the camera. Oh, that's creative, man. I like that, dude.
That's a low blow right there. That's great.
They also called out Dark Order too.
That's right, they did, didn't they? Yeah, Dark Order took kind of a back seat today. I forgot to take notes, but at one point, Dark Order was just relegated to kind of like just a... Oh, actually, no, I have it here. But yeah, they were just relegated to like a quick little recap, and then Evo Uno... What did he say that he was going to unveil? Like there was like a new member or something?
I can't remember what word he used.
It was
Like an important word. I don't think it's. I can't think of the word. They don't sound like he's just a regular guy.
Yeah, he said something. Like I can't remember the wording either because it was a different type of labeling. But they're essentially going to unveil a new member of the Dark Order sometime soon, maybe next week, I think. But that's all we were really given, and we didn't get anything for the Nightmare Collective either, which I think was the right call. These two factions kind of fall flat with fan reaction, and they want the first show of the year to be a really hot show. So instead of giving up on the angle, they just put it on the back burner this week, which I think was the right call.
They did get mentioned.
Yeah.
They did get mentioned.
Yeah, both of them did. Even Jericho brought up the.
Yeah.
Randy Rhodes faction.
Big ass ride.
I just wonder because they're in the beatdown last week. They name dropped Adam Page tonight. Adam Page wouldn't get at the end. I just wonder if he's going to be the big unveil whenever it happens.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And
Yeah,
it would be a way to get Dark Order over. I mean, whatever Adam Page does.
Yeah, man, probably get him over. Get him over better than getting your cat over.
I heard it.
I mean, I can't tape its mouth. I don't know.
Just playing with you, man. Up next, we got the advertised women's championship match. Nyla Rose taking on Hikaru Shida, taking on the dentist Britt Baker, and of course champion Riho in a fatal 4-way match. This was a bunch of fun, man.
It was good.
Nyla Rose kicked it off during Riho's entrance, attacking her before the bell, so it allowed her to take the championship belt to Britt Baker. Shida pulled out a kendo stick, took that to Nyla Rose, so you got a couple weapon shots, and then instantly rang the bell afterwards. None of the like meandering around, waiting for everyone to get their bearings straight. It was like, no. Everyone got like a big illegal hit in, and then just clean swipe. Got that bell going. Fast paced, man. Fast paced, good spots. You had a table spot which looked nasty. Nyla Rose doing the senton to Shida through the table on the outside. That was, oh god, that was so brutal. Nyla Rose is pretty big, man. She's pretty big, like hitting those spots.
I personally want Nyla Rose to take the strap.
Yeah,
I want Nyla Rose to take the strap.
How many heel champs do we have? We only have one heel champ right now, right?
Le Champion.
Yeah, Le Champion. Yeah, yeah, you could have more heel champs because everyone else is face. She's the only arguably heel in the match.
Well, I don't. Is SCU face?
So there's not.
What's that?
Is SCU face like?
Yeah, SCU are face. Yeah, they are totally face.
They come off as I don't know.
They're kind of like tongue in cheek. They insult the audience, but the audience is in on the joke. You know,
Right.
like exactly. They're very tongue in cheek with how they run down the audience, but they're very much face, especially Scorpio Sky.
So I couldn't wait for this moment. This match contains my one gripe. My one gripe. Spoiler. The belt was retained by I can't remember her name. What the hell's her name? Rio. Okay, my bad, guys. Rio, you're 90 pounds. You're not going to roll anybody up. Nobody. Not even the little guy in the Jurassic Park faction. You're not going to roll anybody up. Bullshit way to end the match. Bullshit. You're not going to roll anybody up. It made me mad.
It was a jackknife cover,
no,
man.
You're 90 pounds. I'm sorry. Like, hit a finisher and then steal the win. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not even mad she won the match. I'm mad it's a roll up. You're 90 pounds. You're 90 pounds, dude. You can't roll anybody up.
What were you saying, Seb?
I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, Rey Mysterio, I know he eventually added the West Coast like a fraud splash after 619. He always did the Hurricane Rana.
But at least he did a Hurricane Rana. You know, like.
Well, didn't Britt Baker get super kicked? I want to say, like, no, it was she. What was it? She got hit. Like, I didn't think she didn't get rolled up fresh. Cause Nyla Rose got like pretty much the last shot from Shida, and then Shida got put in the lockjaw for a moment before she tried to reverse it, and then I want to say Britt Baker got super kicked by Riho, and then Jackknife rolled up. It was a quick. There was a lot of stuff moving. There's a lot of moving pieces in that finish.
Which is valid, but I'm sorry, it just bugged me. I'm like, you're 90 pounds.
I will say the coup de grace that she does, the double foot stomp from the top rope onto Nyla Rose, looks like it just bounces off Nyla. Like even all her body weight coming down, it looks hard to sell that.
Boing.
On the apron, she hit her right in the ass.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like it was pinpoint.
Yeah.
But no, this was a fun match.
It was fun.
One of my hopes for 2020 is AEW does get more shine on the women's division for sure. This was real fun. I think it did a hell of a lot of good for Shida. I think she came across as really getting more over than anybody in out of the four. Like I said, I just hope in 2020 a lot of these girls get more exposure. I was looking at it when this match was announced. Nyla Rose has been on 3 shows. Sheeta's been on 4 out of the 10. Rio, I don't even think it's been on that many. So I just hope everyone.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, I hope so too.
I'm just not sold on Britt Baker yet. I know that a lot of people see potential in her, and she's not horrible. Don't get me wrong. Just don't see a lot out of her yet.
She might be the Triple H during like Rock, Austin, HBK times. Where Triple H was never the believable champ until
she's just not Chris. Like whenever they were transitioning into the Nyla Rose powerbomb out of the,
I know what you're talking about.
you could see Britt was just struggling to even make it okay.
Yeah, but keep this in mind. At one point, we thought Carmella couldn't wrestle, and then a couple other people. I think all these women that's going to be part of the fun is watching them get better, because I don't think AEW has a weak wrestler on its roster where people would be tempted to chant "You can't wrestle." Now, granted, there are those who stand out as like best in the world, and then there are those who stand out that they probably wouldn't cut it in NXT and maybe even on WWE's main roster, but still are developing.
I'm not ready to like bury her with a shovel or anything, but I'm not with her there yet. But like I said, Sheeta looked.
I will be right back
tonight.
You're good, Rob.
Sheeta looked great tonight. I hope 2020 is a good year for her. She impressed me in a lot of ways. Selling, the strength to do the Tiger Slam to Nyla, and she picked her up. I thought that was impressive. I mean, she did. Every one of her sequences tonight looked really good.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I said I had a gripe with this match, but it wasn't from like a performance or booking. It was just like I was cheering for Sheeta to get that belt, and when I saw Riho retain, I was bummed out. As much, Rio's face and everything, and I like her and all, but I think we talked about it on a previous episode. I'm ready to move on.
Well, the booking ain't helped either. I mean, you can't have her on for every 5 episodes and expect everybody to take that with her. I mean, who knows? She might drop it next week for Statlander. I mean,
yeah. So that's the story that comes out of the match. Is after the match, Nyla Rose post-match beatdown to Riho, which you gotta wonder why at least Sheeta didn't stand up for her. I didn't see anything that really put Sheeta out. Maybe she was still selling from eating that senton. No, because she had already gotten up from that. I don't know. Well, anyways, Nyla Rose ended up doing a splash to Riho through the table, and commentary started right in. Is how is she going to be in condition to defend her title next week in a singles match against Statlander? And that's going to be interesting. I either see a title change happening next week or not a clean victory. Like Nightmare Collective comes in, something along those lines.
That's the only thing.
I don't see a clean victory for Riho next week. Nope. Doesn't mean I think she's going to lose the title. I just don't think,
I think they'd be smart too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I trust whatever they're gonna do. I do. I trust whatever they got in mind right now, because they haven't let me down yet.
Been there for 3 weeks. She's already more over with she's more believable. I mean, I think they'd be very smart to put the title on her.
Just go run with it. We'll see. So this is the only part that fell flat for me. We had this weird segment backstage where Joey Janela was getting interviewed, and before he could deliver his interview, he got low blowed by. Let me see if I got this right. Superbad Penelope Ford, who was accompanied by Superbad Kip Sabian.
They're bringing realism into it. Joey Janela and her used to be together. He used to be her manager. And that's why whenever they promo, she said, why be a bad boy? Meaning Janela when you can be super bad.
Got you. So, yeah. Okay. Bringing
realism into it. Honestly, I think that's not a bad thing. I think that's one of the best things about wrestling when you do that. And the Shawn Spears thing was kind of getting tiring, so I think this would be a little better for him.
Yeah, I got you. We already touched on the Dark Order stuff, so we'll move on to the next match, which was Jon Moxley taking on Trent, who was accompanied, of course, by Chucky and
the best friends
and Orange Cassidy. Oh man, this was a good match. This was about as one-sided with it still not being a squash match, because at no point were we convinced Trent's gonna get this victory. Man.
There was a couple points. I was like, ooh, maybe.
No, man.
9 minutes in, they had
9
minutes in, they had a very close 2 count for Trent.
Yeah.
This match went it was a good match. Whenever I tweeted, I said that my exact words were, this was a good match. it continued to trend tonight because we hadn't seen one. I just didn't think it needed 11 minutes, was all.
This match made me realize that Moxley, in a sense, has become the Roman Reigns of AEW. He's not going to.
No, man.
It's not going to happen. And that kind of makes me sad because I'm kayfabe all day, man. But like, he's just not going to happen. If anything, it's going to have a double DQ and the match never happened and it's going to go away. Like,
well, Roman Reigns, wasn't that just he won all the time? He consistently won when the odds were impossible. Roman Reigns would be winning like with matches where there's like multiple interferences. He's getting put through tables, stuff like that. That's just like, no, like it's stupid. Moxley's just a strong competitor. I wholeheartedly believe that if Moxley got distracted or someone interfered, Moxley would eat the L. Now, granted, I've yet to be proven right or wrong on this. But until that comes, I don't think he's Roman territory. No. I think he's just literally the strongest singles competitor on the roster.
Right.
Yeah. I ain't trying to say. But I just...
Dude,
I don't think Trent needs to go 11 minutes.
The crowd eats it up, man. No, I hear what you're saying. So, but I think they're building Trent up. He had the match, with...
Pentagon,
yeah.
And that was the only thing. For me, it's hard to take Trent serious as a singles guy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, he beat Omega in the intention. He ain't lost. He's supposed to be getting Jericho soon, I assume. I just don't think he needed 11 minutes of Trent.
Yeah.
And it was a good match. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't. I just wish, like, in AEW, I don't think they've had a match shorter than 10 minutes. I don't think every match has to be a good match to get over what you're trying to do, if that makes sense.
I think what AEW is trying to get across is every match can be a good match, though.
You're right, but like, okay, what made versus Aleister here lately so good? We've seen Aleister kill everybody he's been in offense and took Aleister 10 minutes. Then the Buddy leaves for Buddy. You know what I mean? I don't.
We complain about squash matches until we don't get them.
I don't though. I complain when there's local and here. Okay, like what they've been doing with Drew McIntyre, for example.
Yeah.
With Zack Ryder, I think that's good stuff. That's an established guy. It means something. But if you bring in some rando from some no-name promotion, don't. If you bring it in, I don't really mind it.
I hear you. I gotta apologize to you folks for the audio issues that we're having on Sebastian's, but I think we get the point that he's coming across is one-sided matches. Yeah. One-sided matches still have their places in pro wrestling, and that AEW probably doesn't need to have everybody needs to be a credible competitor, no matter the level of competition. So I see where you're going with this. I was able to piece that together.
I was actually explaining to wifey earlier that that's one thing I'm liking about AEW is every single match has a purpose, and every single match that maybe we don't need every single match to go 10 minutes. But the fact that they do, I'm okay with it. I'm definitely okay with it. Like, you're going to have two nobodies out there that I have no idea who they are, but I'm like, okay, sweet. They're going to have a good match because this is AEW. And they're going to have spot fest and flipsy doos. And then the match is going to end, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. That's one thing I like about AEW. Gone with the squash matches forever and ever.
The squash matches aren't entirely gone because we had Moxley get that 8-second victory the other week.
Okay, but that was cool. Yeah. That was cool at all. It wasn't the Viking Raiders, and you got deflated when their music hit, and you went to the bathroom because the Viking Raiders were coming out.
And I'm not saying Mox should have absolutely squashed them. Like, I think 5 minutes would have been fine there. Like, I don't want a 10-second match.
Maybe got one or two flurries where you're like, ooh, Trent's getting some offense in there, and then Mox just shuts him down. Yeah, I
I
mean,
just want to say I don't appreciate you trying to take away my best friend's TV time. Just saying.
I was like, don't mess with the best friends.
Orange Cassidy is the best thing in AEW.
I like that Orange Cassidy hopped in the ring. And I was waiting for him to throw one of those light kicks so we could get one of those rants from Sebastian. Like, why the hell isn't this a disqualification? But he didn't.
I was waiting for it. I'm like, when he does it, are they going to DQ him? Is it going to
No, they wouldn't have DQ'd him. They wouldn't have DQ'd him. Those don't exist. All right? In this world. Like, I don't know. Back to the Fatal 4-Way match. Like, they was bringing up why they did that. What did she hit her with? That's my cat, Elsa, by the way.
Hey, Elsa.
But,
my cat ran behind me at the same time. That kind of creeped me out for a second. I'm like,
what did Sheeta hit her with?
Looked like a kendo stick.
Okay. They brought that up like, yeah, they did that before the bell run. That's a Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah, that was my thinking too. I was like, it's still not a DQ match. That's why you had a table spot. You had a table spot in there, you know.
So, yeah, but
no, Orange Cassidy confronts John Moxley and taunts him by putting his hands in his pockets. And I love that Moxley's response was to super aggressively put his hands in his own pockets and get in Orange Cassidy's face. It was extremely intimidating and silly. Moxley, of course, ate a running knee, though, for his troubles when he turned around, so the distraction worked.
That's the moment I thought Mox was actually going to lose.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes! No,
ain't going to happen. So the real story went down after the match, though, because Mox ended up winning with the paradigm shift, right? Because it's the Death Rider in New Japan. So paradigm shift in AEW. Afterwards, Sammy Guevara comes out, man. Listen, I loved this. There was two obvious plants in the crowd as Sammy Guevara came out because he takes like a fan, quote unquote's drink. And he's like, Mox, I see why you like doing this. And he throws the drink in the fan's face. And then he does it to this other guy who's popcorn. The only thing is these two fans are like triple the size of everybody else around them. I was like, it's like you're obviously picking on some future wrestlers there. But yeah, the grooming Mox, man. Sammy Guevara comes in, says, hey, man, we want to get you signed up. He cues it over to Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's outside in front of this super nice Ford GT. I'm not even a fan of Ford, but damn it, that car looked nice. Jericho extends the offer and explains what the offer entails. It's not just a spot in the inner circle. It's co-leader of the group. Offers 49% of the equity, I guess, of their income. So he's pretty much co-owner of everything Inner Circle, executive VP, and of course the said Ford GT that we saw, and he even put vanity plates on it. I was thinking to myself, I'll be like, yeah, you would have sold me. I was like, you know what? I'd like to think I don't have a price. That's my price right there, man. It's like, what do you guys think, man?
One thing I got from this was like I honestly would love John Moxley to join the Inner Circle. You guys know I love my heels. I love my heel factions. I don't think he's gonna do it. But one thing I got from this was you offered 49%. Down the road, he's gonna join, and down the road, that 1% is gonna stick him in the ass, and he's gonna get kicked out or jumped or something. You're only 49%. I got you by 1%. Get out of my clubhouse or something along those lines. That's what I got from it.
I love Jericho's shot to everybody else. He's like, I'm not offering you a dread of hair or a creepy man.
Oh yeah, the shade he threw at the inner. I'm not offering you a ski mask or a lock of hair. Yeah, that was good. So, I'm glad you picked up on that. I totally forgot that.
Oh, I've made so many fraternity comparisons. I picked on that immediately. And here's the thing, we forgot about Shawn Spears looking for a tag team partner too. So there's 4.
That's right. That is so okay. So now if you're Moxley, right, and you're being forced to team up, what's your pecking order? Like bottom to top. Like me, it would be Shawn Spears would be last place. Nightmare Collective would be 3rd place. Then, of course, Dark Order, 2nd place. And then, of course, Inner Circle. I mean, you can't have anybody else that you would join other than Inner Circle.
I ain't joining nobody.
You ain't gonna join nobody?
No.
No. I did like Moxley's
He might take that belt.
Rebuttal, which, boy, this was the only time that Moxley's going to get booed for a while if he doesn't turn heel. But he said, fancy car aside, now this is what made it believable, because he touched on it. He says, Chris Jericho's always been my friend, and I've always looked at him as a mentor. So it shows right away that Chris Jericho isn't some putz in his eyes. He's got respect for him more than just as a competitor, but as a person as well. So it leaves you kind of believing like he might be considering this, but then he throws out the old classic, I'll let y'all know next week, in which case Jacksonville was pissed.
Yep.
They wanted to know.
I would be too.
That was me at SmackDown, man. After the week after Daniel Bryan went under the ring and was having his locks of hair, I was like, oh, shoot, next week we're going to get bald Daniel Bryan. And then when he never came out, I was bummed. But, yeah, man. It was cool, man. So we'll see. You guys say you don't think he's going to join?
No.
No. I guess I'll just, just to play different, I'm going to say, yeah, he'll join next week. Up next,
if he does, it'll be something like Daniel Bryan in the last 2 weeks. And
oh yeah, like it's a ruse the whole time. Like Daniel Bryan joined.
Moxley is having a match at Revolution. I mean, I think
that's where it's heading. Yeah, I mean, it definitely it has to be heading there. Something I normally wouldn't cover, but damn it, it was just too good not to cover it during the commercial break. Oh, shoot, I forgot to have the still of Chris Jericho up during that offer. Well, yeah, here's Jericho with the belt. Moving on. During the commercial break, we got Sammy Guevara, man. And if you look here, if you're on YouTube, you'll see it. He's taking his shot at Victoria Justice, man. This is awesome. So he's in the picture-in-picture, and he's got cue cards because you can't hear him. And he's just like slowly tagging along a message. And he tells... Moxley to hit him up, and he was like, speaking of hitting me up, the next cue card says Victoria Justice's sister hit me up. It was so good. That junk was hilarious, man. I don't think I've ever laughed at a picture-in-picture as hard as I did tonight. But yeah, moving on, this did set up the next match, which was Dustin Rhodes taking on Sammy Guevara. This is correct me if I'm wrong, this is Dustin's return, right, since the broken arm?
Yes.
And Dustin beat the hell out of him.
Dustin did beat the hell out of Sammy. I gotta say, I don't think I've ever been excited for a Jack Swagger / Jake Hager feud, but somehow AEW has got me hyped for Dustin Rhodes and Jake Hager. Like I cannot wait for that match to finally happen. I believe it'll be Hager's. Would it be Hager's first match for AEW?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't had a match yet, man.
No. They've done a really good job positioning the way they have, making him quiet. Just overall, real good job making him feel like he's not on top, like everybody assumed he would be.
Going by his Twitter, man, it's probably a great thing they're not giving him a live mic.
yeah, that's.
We won't get into it, but boy, he knows how to poke the fire ant hill, man. Like, oh boy.
Yeah.
But
speaking of that, there was a tournament going on of worst wrestling Twitter accounts.
Oh yeah.
And Brandy Rhodes made like the final four, I guess, the finals.
Oh, really?
And she even retweeted it and was like, "Please vote for me for the worst wrestling." So,
at that point, you just got to own it, right, man?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
So Dustin Rhodes taking on Sammy Guevara. This match was good. Dustin, dude, Jesus, he's got to be what? He's like 49, almost 50. Maybe he's 50. Dude.
Yeah, this makes the 5th decade he's wrestled.
Jesus Christ, dude, he's hitting Canadian destroyers on the ring apron.
He started in the 80s. Just look at since in 5 decades.
Oh my God, dude. 80s, 90s, 2010s, yeah, and then 20s. Yeah, he's wrestled in 5 different decades. That is nuts. And the dude can still go. He still shocks me every time he hits that power slam. He hit that power slam to Guevara on the mat outside the ring. And dude, it just made my heart skip a beat. I was like, God dang it, that is brutal. It's so messed up. Ultimately, though, Reason why I brought up Hager was Hager did come out during the match and would attack Dustin periodically while the ref was distracted. Ultimately, that was what did Dustin Rhodes in anyways, because at one point in the end of the match, he had Sammy on the ropes, getting him ready for the Golden Globes. Gave him a good old wedgie, too, which that camera was in tight on, bro. Like, that was... Even I was like, oh, God. Oh, man.
You almost see his bow.
Oh, my God,
If I was hosting, that'd be our thumbnail.
Jesus, no. Hell no. we would get negative views. They would take it down and, like, ban us for like 3 weeks. Oh, man. But, yeah, as Dustin's setting up for the Golden Globes, the ref actually cuts Dustin off, which allowed Jake Hager to get a low blow on Dustin because at that point, Sammy Guevara grabbed onto the ref, who was protecting him. And I think, Rob, you said this got you upset, or was it you, Seb, that he got pinned just via low blow?
Yeah, like, it wasn't upset. It's not a big deal. I would have rather had Sammy show off. You know, he's very athletic. I'd rather him just do something from the top after sort of 1, 2, 3.
Finally hit that shooting star?
Yeah, something. It's not the low blow and then 1, 2, 3. Like, we see low blow. And we
do see low blow roll ups a lot in WWE.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that.
Yeah. I think the way it should be is you shouldn't get low blowed and rolled up like you're knocked out. You get low blowed and rolled up and you're too busy clutching your nuts. You know, that would be way more believable. You're just grabbing yourself. You're not paying attention to getting pinned. You're freaking writhing in pain, and they just turtle you up, you know? So I think it's just how in the selling. They just need to revise how you sell the low blow roll-up.
Speaking of anything like this, and this is off topic, okay? Do you all follow Kevin Owens on Twitter?
I think I do.
Okay, he had a rocket or something. I don't even know. But it explodes, and he had it upside down. And it hit him in the nuts, and that's how he started 2020 off.
Oh my God, I need to look that up.
Yeah, he posted it, and I died. Like, he sold it. He sold it good. So,
oh my God. Hey,
but,
Rob, how you feeling over there, man?
I'm getting there.
That Captain and Coke looks like it's doing its work on you, bud.
No, it ain't even that, dude. It's almost midnight, man.
Yeah, I know. You have to get up in like 2 hours.
And I was up till 2 last night.
Jeez, man. Well, if you need to jump early, man, you know we always look out for you. But no, I'm just glad to hear you're still sticking in there. You guys, once again, if you're not watching the YouTube, Rob looks you can't tell Rob if you look a little tipsy, you know, maybe that Captain Coke, or if you're just tired.
No. Yeah, I'm tired, bro.
Just tired. Yeah,
I can handle the liquor. The liquor's good.
I'd like to hear that, man. Oh man.
The old man in me is kicking in.
Yeah, I'm only kicking because I had that late night coffee. I'm gonna be regretting that in the morning. So what we got? So yeah. Following the match, what was up next? All the MJF stipulations. So this is
plural.
Stipulations, man.
Was not one.
Yo, so we're getting a callback to the Vince McMahon Trish Stratus stuff. I never thought I'd have anything remind me of that. This doesn't really need too much touching on. MJF and Wardlow come out. We know that MJF has accepted a match with Cody Rhodes, but given a couple stipulations are met. So first stipulation, match is going to be at Revolution. Good. Second one is Cody cannot put a hand on MJF till then. Classic heel stuff. No matter what, which you can already use your imagination. They're going to do a lot with that. Second, or thirdly, Cody needs to earn the match by defeating Wardlow in what I believe will be AEW's first steel cage match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm stoked for that, man. I'm stoked. See them with a cage match. Then
that is a creepy looking dude.
Wardlow, he's permanently stuck in the duck face. He's like stuck making a duck face at all times, man. Like, it's the oddest thing. Oh my God. But lastly, this is the talking point. The last stipulation is that on live television, on Dynamite.
I might have misunderstood. I thought it is if he loses the cage match this happened.
Oh, I thought it was just he had to do it. It was
No,
just.
I thought it was if he lost. I mean, you might be right.
I thought it was he worded it the last stipulation on top of all of this.
That's what I caught, but I could very well be
I thought
wrong.
it was if he lost. You might be right.
But Cody must willingly get down on all four like a dog and receive 10 lashings from MJF with what I assume is going to be a weightlifting belt.
In front of his family, too.
In front of his family, friends, peers, live television. They're going for the most degrading looking thing you can do to Cody Rhodes. Which, like I said, anytime I hear in any type of wrestling, get on all four like a dog, you hark back to Trish barking and you just start cringing. So I am actually weary of this. This could potentially be the first like super cringy thing AEW does. I don't know though. I don't know. I just don't know how this would play out in an entertaining factor if they do it. You guys have anything to add to that? You know, I'm just leaving it there for you.
Yeah, it's a interesting stipulation.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Rhodes will win the cage match.
How?
If it's what Seb said, that if he loses, then it has to happen. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's gonna go that far. Because you can't have like Cody's being built to be this badass, and then you're gonna have him on all fours acting like a dog. It just doesn't.
It could be though. Now hear me out. I might be reaching here. It could be Cody Rhodes taking some notes from Vince, and if there was one thing Vince ever was known for, was that he gave it all for promoting his stuff, including having himself be humiliated on TV. How many times did we see Vince like having his head shoved in Rikishi's butt, and
getting beat up with bedpans?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Cody Rhodes by no means do I think is trying to embody the Vince McMahon character, but I think that's one thing people have always commended Vince for, was in a position where he never had to humiliate himself, he full on dove into it for the sake of entertainment and for the product. But I don't know. I could be stretching here, but that's just one way of looking at it. That's all I think.
I was going into it. I was kind of hoping they was going to make their first AEW match. Like they always talk about, AEW creating new types of matches. I thought that's where we were heading here.
Oh, to create a new match for.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going.
Well, word has it is they're trying to create a War Games match.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
But I always heard they was trying to come up with like 3 or 4 new match types. I just thought maybe that was getting there. I mean, the furthest thing away in my mind was Cody getting whipped like a dog.
It's going to be weird, man. It's going to be a weird one. So after the not Hangman Page, excuse me, MJF stuff, we had a bunch of several promos backstage. Jungle Boy reflects on the biggest match of his life. He's of course probably the most happy that the records are reset. So now that he's not going to have that winless record, he gets a clean slate. I like that at the end of the interview, when they end it, because you have Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt there. Like when they cue that the interview was over, Marco Stunt went for a hug with the interviewer. Just like a little gremlin. Had to be held back by Luchasaurus. That tickled me, man. I thought that was funny. One
thing I said earlier about the women's division, one thing I hope for 2020, I never would beat our prediction. You couldn't understand a thing Luchasaurus was saying.
Yeah, I didn't hear him either.
They started music or something, I'm not sure. And it kind of happened at the start earlier when Britt Baker went at Riho.
Mm-hmm.
So two backstage segments tonight you couldn't really hear. So I hope they're able to clean that up.
Just some production stuff. Just touching up that production stuff. I hear you. Yeah.
I haven't heard Luchasaurus talk that much. And
he held that promo against Jericho when Jericho was doing the lexicon or whatever.
I mean, much. I mean, he's had, here and there. But like whenever, I always want to hear him talk. So when they gave him the mic, I was like, all right, cool. And then I couldn't hear him.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Riho was backstage getting interviewed about her upcoming match. I did like what they were setting up here.
Actually, Kyle, to correct you, I've never heard Luchasaurus talk because that was the week that my grandmother had a heart attack.
Oh, yeah. Wow, yeah. Okay.
That's probably why I was so.
Gotcha. Dang, man. How am I supposed to follow that now with just covering the show? Jesus, you're going to drop a bomb.
She's good now.
Thank you.
He's alive.
Just casually. I never heard him talk. That was when my grandma had a heart attack. Please continue covering the show. She's good. Yeah. Rio's backstage getting interviewed about how she feels about her upcoming match next week. I did like that they were positioning Michael Nakazawa to be a translator. So I thought that was smart. But
then you got Britt Baker coming in running her mouth while Rio's got a translator standing right there. Britt, she didn't understand a word you just said.
Yeah, Britt needed to motion to Michael and be like, Michael, tell her.
Yes. And then when she walked away, I thought maybe she was going to get told, but he's like, just calm down. It's okay. No, it's not okay. She just Britt just ran her mouth. Tell her she just ran her mouth. This is wrestling.
I died, yeah. But I did like kind of what Britt said. It seemed like Britt was kind of maybe.
She was on point. She was on point for sure, 100%. But it seems like a dead interview because she went through. She doesn't. She didn't go to the locker room like, huh? I have a title. What?
It was the most character I've seen out of Britt.
Oh man, yeah. It was. Yeah, I mean it was, but she was fired up about how she's been week in, week out wrestling, and Riho hasn't been there, and she felt Riho stole the victory. But it's good. It was good stuff. Hangman Page was backstage at one point.
In that fly shirt he was wearing.
Yeah. So Private Party's getting interviewed, and I don't know if you guys have seen this because it's been, I think, relegated mainly to being the Elite. But Hangman Page has been essentially being portrayed as he's kind of diving into alcoholism through the losses and the hardship he's been going through on being the Elite. He interacts a lot with Private Party, and it's always him being like sloppy drunk, spilling his drinks, and then obviously pouring more drinks when he doesn't need anymore. And Private Party has been trying to call him on it and being like, be there for him. And so this was the first time that got brought on the TV, I think, which I think is a cool layer to him. I don't know if how comfortable people are with alcoholism being a part of someone's character and story, but I don't really know. I really don't know if that's tasteful or not. I don't really have an opinion on that one way or another. But yeah, so that's Hangman Page's thing, is the hardships he's been going through has been kind of leading him to drinking and acting like nothing's wrong. Which is interesting. And it sets up a match between him and Kenny Omega taking on Private Party next week, which is should be interesting, to say the least. And that also led to him being on commentary for the main event, which was the Elite taking on...
Did you notice all night when it shows their names on the entrances, it has something above them, like a stat or something?
I kept meaning to try and see it, but I missed most of them.
Okay, well, that was a thing. And on his, it just says, has been drinking.
Has been drinking?
That's cringe.
So they're diving. But it's so minor. It's not but yeah, they're really driving that home now.
Has been drinking. Adam Hangman Page.
Yeah. Oh my God. The Elite took on, like I said, Lucha Bros and Pac. This was an awesome match. Canadian Destroyers, hard-hitting action. Looked like prime Omega and Young Bucks. I mean, they killed it. I don't think it was a spot fest. I'll ask you, Sebastian, because you're pretty critical about the spot festy matches. I felt there was a good story in this match and a good flow.
It was too much for me, personally. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I was entertained, but it wasn't recommend. When you have the Young Bucks not even on the apron, sitting down on the floor just watching for their spots, that takes me out of it. The three Canadian Destroyers, the no-sell on the Dragon Suplex.
I knew that you were going to bring that up. He did sell it.
No, he didn't.
He did sell it. He ate it and had just enough energy to hit a cutter afterwards and then was out. How many times have we seen a guy get kicked in the head and he delivers a super kick as he's falling down? It was the equivalent of that, man. He didn't no-sell it.
The 50 super kick. Like, this match was just... I'm not a fan of that type of layout in a match. That's just me. I know people do. I know for it. But for me... I just don't prefer that.
Yeah, this is the prime type of match that AEW fans are what brought AEW to the table. Though this is the style of wrestling.
Like for me, the match of the night. I know this might have been the match of the night for you.
Oh yeah, it was. It was for sure.
Me for sure. It was Cody and Darby.
Yeah,
it was hard. It was intense. They was both selling. It was to me a lot better told story. So that's the kind of match I feel like AEW can do, and I'd be a big fan of.
Hell yeah! But ended up having the Elite win though, which I thought was the right call here, just because they're a trios team, opposed to Pac being thrown in there with a tag team, and then also pushed forward the angle of Hangman Page. Distancing himself from the Elite because he was on commentary mentioning when they asked him about next week's tag match with Kenny Omega, he was like,
"Yeah, I didn't even know what happened."
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't know. He's like, "I'm actually trying to get away, but they keep booking me in tag matches with the guy, so it's obviously I can't get away from him." And then at the end, the Elite celebrate. Cody's out there celebrating. They're trying to entice Hangman Page to come out, and Page is just like, "I can't do it. Sorry, I just timing. I can't." And he walks off, and that's how we close, man. But it was a good show. Take it away, man. I mean, honestly, I struggle to think of a better way to kick off the new year, short of having putting together an actual pay-per-view event, like takeover level NXT style. But
I really enjoyed. Even though I wasn't a big fan of the main event. Say it's probably in the top 3 of the shows they put up together.
Yeah, you can't really ask much more out of weekly television.
It was a really good show.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Even though my reputation is anti-AEW. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. WWE Defender.
Yeah. But no, I'd honestly give it about an A-, personally.
A-. But you, Rob, man, you had a good time tonight?
I enjoyed it.
Hell yeah, me too, man.
I'm enjoying my weekly Dynamite, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got to say it's the show I look forward to most. I would say NXT as well, but we cover AEW,
Next week, too, you got Statlander and Riho. You got the Rhodes Brothers, and then the tag match you referenced to.
Yeah, I can't wait to see all those matches that we all definitely heard you name off.
God. What did you hear? What did you hear?
All of it.
I heard next week we got
Rio
and the Rhodes Brothers. We'll fix these audio issues, man. We'll fix them. We'll get them under control, man.
It's a blue mic. I don't.
It's a good mic. Times. You have a good mic. We'll figure it out.
I have a shitty headset on, but I'm using. I don't know.
We'll figure it out, man.
Come to us next week to see if it's mystery solved.
Yeah, I tune in next week to see if.
Cliffhanger.
Oh, Rob. Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, buddies.
Even though you're pretty tired over there. The bits that you did chime in on, man, were very valid, as you would say. And I mean, we can't have a show without our Flipsy Doos mentions.
Rio is 90 pounds. She ain't rolling nobody up, man. I don't care if you just caught 4 Sweet Chin Musics and a sharpshooter.
Dude, I don't even think they bill her at 90. I think they bill her at like 87.
I think it's 90.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they say on commentary.
It's 90 pounds. 90 pounds. You weigh 100 pounds wearing a belt. You ain't gonna roll nobody up wearing your belt.
Oh my God, dude.
All right, listeners. Thank you for listening. I'm done. I am out of here.
All right.
I will talk to you, gentlemen.
Hey, make sure you guys tune in also to catch Oh, jeez, Rob. Oh, Rob definitely just messed up the stream. YouTube's just getting a big look at your face.
Hi, guys.
Oh, my God. Hey, thank you guys for oh, my God. I'm trying to salvage this. Rob messed us up, man. Rob definitely messed us up. Oh, hey, I'd rather have a botch finish than a botch intro. So,
well, we did that too.
We did that too. Yeah, man. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to tune in Friday night or Saturday to hear Sebastian's episode of SmackDown that he loves to cover. And then next week, we will be having, I believe, the 2019 Wrestling Awards. Now, there is a caveat here. I believe we're only covering WWE and NXT. AEW is really fresh on the scene, and unfortunately, we don't really cover too much of like New Japan. So, apologies in ahead of time if your AEW wrestlers don't get in there. But we will give some honorable mentions.
That's not really unfair. They've only been around.
Yeah. So, but there will be honorable mentions. Like I said, just the caveat is they didn't have a full year. But yeah, tune into. We'll be recording it Tuesday. I don't know if we're necessarily throwing it up Tuesday. Keep an eye out. We'll let y'all know. But until next time, man, y'all have a good one.
See ya.